one of the first things that I want to say about this is that we've lost that connection. You know, it's pretty apparent that we have. That's a no-brainer to say that we've lost the connection. And I really appeal to us as models, as adults, even more so than children right now, because we are the ones that will encourage and facilitate that reconnection with the natural world. It's something that is going to take a few generations, I think, to really integrate into our species as human beings. There are teachers. I remember years ago, back when we used to think of indigenous people as very primitive, as not really knowing a lot. Of course, we're more sophisticated, civilized, etc. But really, they're primitive. Now we're looking to them to teach us, you know, to remind us. And really, the biggest task I think we have is to remember who we really are. If there's nothing else that goes on, it's to keep remembering who we really are, and then how do we remember who we really are, and then how do we connect with, how do we teach our children? And again, the biggest teacher, as somebody once said about his son, he said, it's not what, he doesn't listen to what I say, but he watches what I do. And as adults and as models, whether you're a mother, father, aunt, uncle, grandparent, whatever, it's what you do that really counts. And so the more that you can do things that will help you remember that connection to nature, the better. I'm in a very unusual situation, I consider it, although I see that there's other people too in this kind of situation, and that's that I have a grandson Jaden, who's 6 years old, and another one on the way, a little girl, and also Jessica has two little girls, 7 and 5. So I'm both a parent or a step-parent as well as a grandparent. My daughters are grown, and yet I still have some very fond memories of times with them. I also have been essentially assigned to my niece Debbie has 3 girls, Jordan, Sydney, and Paris, and they're very much a part of our lives as well. We've gone camping with them, etc. And I remember with Jordan, Sydney, and Paris talking to their father, who is not in the picture anymore, a few years back, and I said, "Do you ever take the girls camping?" And he said, "No, I don't like camping." And I remember I made a vow that day. This was probably about 8 years ago. I said, "I'm going to take these girls camping." So we went out to one of my favorite spots not too long ago, Joshua Tree. I went up on the rock and played a didgeridoo. How many know what a didgeridoo is? And it's, I just love it, especially in a scene like that out in the natural world. So I started playing the didgeridoo. We had some other drums, etc. And pretty soon, Jordan joins me, and she starts beating the drum, or excuse me, playing the drum. It's better to think of playing the drum than beating the drum. And then pretty soon, Sydney was there, and then I don't think Serena and Ari were with us at that time. This is a few years ago. And they joined us on top of the rock, and there's one picture of us all up there playing. And this guy's playing the didgeridoo, and these other children are joining me. I also recall when Nicole was quite young. She was about 4 or 5 years old. And we used to enjoy these walks. Her little sister was still not old enough. They're almost 3 years apart. Catherine, who's now pregnant with a second grandchild. Catherine wasn't able to go with us, but Nicole and I, so we'd go out and take a little walk now and again. And I remember this one day, we went out walking, and I'm sure you've seen these embankments where sometimes they'll just put rocks over the embankment. Well, that was the case, is that we stopped, and I said, "Oh, Nicole, look at these. Let's go back and get a basket, and we collect some of these." So we walked back a short ways to the house, came back, and had a basket this size, and I'm taking each rock and I'm looking at it, you know, very carefully, and she's like throwing them in the basket like this. And I remember saying to her, I said to her, "Nicole, just get the pretty ones." And she just looked at me with these baby blue eyes and says, "Daddy, they're all pretty."